Chapter 2. Alena and the Journey to the Tourney. Once upon a time in a land far away, there was a tomboy princess called Svarevna Alena. Her rough and tumble ways were a constant concern to her father, Tsar Stepan. One morning, he summoned her to his throne room. For the purpose of testing your strengths. Or to challenge abilities. Here is where it gets a little, I want to say, inappropriate, and I apologize. The NES version does not have this awful localization translation. Can't do a Russian accent, so they just give them broken English. You must to be more woman-like. And here we have our tutor, Boria. We are Alena. Equipped with but a silk robe. And we have 40 bucks, and it strips all of our items out. Because we don't have Ragnar stuff. Here in Zamovska. Now, the beginning part of this, I'm sure there's just a few people you have to talk to, but I've always assumed my superstition of having Star Tropic syndrome. And here, let's just jot down Zamovska has a red door that we can't get through. We'll go over the flashing floors when it becomes relevant. Oh hey, Kirill. Real subtle there. A vial of holy water. Vial of holy water. It's like the repel spell in Pokemon. It keeps weaker enemies away. Not particularly useful, but it's there. Hero. Well, a priest loving the princess. What can you do about it? Hey, how's it going? Smash open some pots here. We'll find a medical herb. Prepare the edibles. I hear we're a bit of a tomboy. Now, if you look at the stats of Alena there, 12 strength, 7 agility at level 1. She is our monk. She's our fighter. Evacuate to your chamber. Someone sat there with a thesaurus and tried to have a lot of fun with this. Did it come across as charming? And there's a blue door here as well. Let's just jot down red and blue. We'll learn what that means later. And if you come here, this is even in the NES version, there's a feather cap right here. Gives you a lot of defense. So let's go ahead and put that on. If you press both the top buttons at the same time, it brings you back to default view. I never noticed that before. Picture of her mom. If you poke at the wall... Now, after talking to, I want to say everybody, Star Tropic Syndrome, the man standing in front of it saying he's fixing it will go away. And the screen gets darker, so you can kick your way in. Kick your way through it. Hey, kitty. If you come around the other side, a little flashing spot here. Find someone's spare change they dropped. Awesome. This looks a lot different in this version than it does in the DS. Now, there's another blue door here. We're going to need to remember that for later, viewer. Now, in the NES version, these two follow you outside. Here, they catch up to you before you even leave. Was not to travel alone, some. If you argue to go, I insist to come in your company. So let us begin. And here we have 3 party members. Now, Kirill and Boria are not guests. They're here to stay. We'll step outside, listen to her. Everyone has their own theme on the world map. Like, everyone is in the different chapters. So, Kirill, we have the princess, because that word is hard to say. Vladevna. We have the priest armed with a club and some clothes. He comes with a heal spell. And we have Boria, the magician, come with a stick and some clothes. Comes with the crack spell. That's the ice bolt spell in the NES version. And if you select this a couple times, you get a nice readout of attack and defense. I want to do... We have 90 bucks. See what we can buy. Here in Zelenagrad. We just left, and yet they already know we left. News travels faster than you. Here we have a red door. So, just jot that down for those following along at home. Where is this? Zelenagrad. Halt, you are not good enough equipped. Danger. Well, they're right. We are not good enough equipped. And unlike the previous chapter, we are not good to go right off the bat. So here, I want to use my Seeds of Agility on Kirill, because I want him to get his heal spells off as fast as possible. Only one, but... Weapon shop here. What I want to do, I want to save up to buy the copper sword for Kirill, so I can hand his club down to Alena. That'll be my first purchase. So I need 10 of gold. Here we have our first save point. And we'll locate an undersized hamlet up into the east. We need to grind quite a bit before we can even think about that. Joseph Starling. I don't know if I would have considered Joseph Starling to be a bard, but there he is. And there's nothing up top on the roof. Alright, and in here, nothing behind the house? No. Anyone in the inn? Hello. Become beefy by battling near town. And there's a blue door here that I'll jot down, but there's nothing in there. Keep that in mind for later. So let's go get 10 bucks. Alright, new enemies. She Slimed and Mouse Flop. She Slimes, Alena doesn't get spells, she's just a punchman. Yeah, 11 damage on crack. It's pretty good. These slimes and Mouseflap, they're just vanilla enemies that are a bit tougher than the ones we've seen before. Because there's 3 of us. Oh, instantly get a leather hat. That's 65 gold saved. Beautiful. I'll hand that down to Kirill. The farther up in the formation you are, the higher chance you have of getting attacked. But for now, Alena is leading in defense and HP, so she'll stay in the front. That was a fortunate drop. The drop rate in this game, not so high. So we'll give Kirill the copper sword so he can do a bit more damage on physical attacks. And Alena can now have any weapon at all. We'll get a new weapon for her much later. But even without a weapon, she was outperforming Kirill with a weapon. Maybe a new enemy, walking stick. Another vanilla enemy. They're not a big deal. We'll slowly work our way up. Lick Splittle. The new enemy. What he can do is he can call for... Yep, there you go. He can call for reinforcements. Now, if Borea's not casting a spell, I'm just going to have him defend. His swinging with the stick will not be beneficial ever. And hey! Levels all around. Now, we can't really reliably move on until Kirill gains enough levels to learn a new spell. And to the east, the undersized hamlet of Tabarov. There's nothing we can buy there, so there's no reason to head up there yet until we're ready. These slimes just tough enough that they can't kill one. I do want to visit at nighttime Zelenagrad there. I'm thinking that's what is being locked behind that door upstairs, is something that happens at night. That's just a guess of mine. I don't remember that door. I've played through this game dozens of times, but not on the DS version. Here we have Mischievous Mole. He's the same as the other one, just weaker. He can also charge up to double his strength. So while I want it to be nighttime, I'll also need to get experience. So that's why I'm walking around the woods for a slightly higher encounter rate. Now, in the NES version, if I were to have done that and an enemy died, while, let's say, Alena killed the walking stick and Kirill was also swinging at it, it would not auto-redirect to the other enemy. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your targets. Here is not the case. They put on a redirect. But it's a lot more tactical in the NES version. Hero will beat the corpse and gain nothing from it. Here at nighttime, oh, the sun's hanging out with Joseph Starling. Do you have anything different to say? in a world where Joseph Stalin is the good guy. Or at least a nice guy. Just because you are a bad guy does not mean you are a bad guy. I guess he locked his door. Fair enough. When he went to bed. Everyone keeps talking about his singing voice. Well, we do want to rest up at the inn now. Restore our MP so Kiro can get back at it. The cost of staying in an inn goes up the more party members you have. So here it would be 2 per person. And here, let's actually look at the equipment shop. Do want to get a complement of medical herbs for each of the bros there. And a couple backups for the bag. For using out in the field. In case Kiro runs out of MP. And we were fortunate enough to find a leather hat. So the next thing I'd want to save up for is the leather shield. And that's our goal while we continue to get more numbers for Kirill. Whoa. 4 moles. Not prepared for that. No, we're fine. I could even sell Borea's stick. I think it sells for like 3 gold. Good job, Borea. Now up here are hills. They'll make the grind go a little faster. Slightly stronger enemies too, so yeah. I feel confident enough that we're alright up here now. Yeah, there's quite a difficulty spike right here at the beginning of the game. It held your hand through Chapter 1 and gave you really good stuff. Now you have to work for it. And you see that the area to the east is entirely hill, so it's going to be quite a few battles when we are ready. Now, you can rest up there. You could pay slightly more at the end there, but we have to head back to Zeleningrad anyway. Oh, new enemy, a foo dog. Very angry looking mutt. They're pretty tough. They have a strong physical, as you saw there, and they are vulnerable to crack. We haven't seen too many enemies yet that have resistances. You can summon more, so we'll go ahead and get rid of you. When in grinding sessions, I like to use the my magic up right away, while we're still lower level, because once you reach a higher level, well, you won't need it as much. So as I was talking before about the wisdom, wisdom has to be a certain point for someone to learn a spell. So Borea's reached high enough for him to learn Sap. Sadly, Kirill's was not high enough to learn the spell I was hoping for. So Sap, as before, reduces the defense, just completely kills the defense of an enemy. That'll also be very useful. One of the most powerful moves in the game. There it is. Lost 3 MP. So here I'm going to use another command. If we go to miscellaneous, you'll see the heal all command. Selecting that will then, from the back forward, whoever has a heal spell will begin casting it until they're either out of mana, then the next person will step in, or everyone's at full health. It's a really, really nice quality of life thing they added into the DS version of the game. Downside, if you only have 1 HP, you only lost 1 health, or you only have 1 domain until they will cast the spell. So keep an eye on that, but otherwise it's so good. It saves a lot of time from having to cast heal, heal, heal. I think we've seen all the enemies in this area now. Just waiting on Kirill to get that 1 more level. Then we'll head back, we'll shop, we'll sleep. And then head along in the game. Now, it is possible to get through this next part without this grind. I've not been able to do that at least in the NES version. I have not been able to do that at all. Could you call it tedious that they require you to grind up to level 5 right at the start of the second chapter of the game? Yeah. But that's what we're here for. Good old-fashioned combat and exploration. Hey, it was the 90s. Was it the 90s? Yeah, it's the 90s. The NES. Late era of the NES. Oh, here's a tougher set. We got a food dog and a bunch of sticks. So you see the food dogs, they have a lot of defense compared to the other enemies. So if I had enough MP for sap, I would use it. But we're fine. Dragon Warrior 4 was released February 11th, 1990. Yeah, a long time ago. Well, we got it in the US in 92, but I spent much of my childhood here playing this game, and hey, a new enemy. Oh, Bagworm. Bagworms, they have quite a bit of defense. They have a pretty neat animation in this version. See, the enemies don't move in the original. They can muster their strength. They're not particularly powerful. They're more annoying than anything else. Go ahead and pull out a heal all. Alright, he's out of MP. That's fine. We've got quite a bit of gold doing this. See there in the top right part of the screen, 350 gold. If Kirill will gain this final level, which should do on the way back to town, so let's start heading back there. Not a bad shot there, Alena. Start walking our way back. To change up the background of the bit. Now this is more grind. This is all the grind we're gonna need to do for this chapter. On the upside, the next chapter won't require a grind. There it is, the buff spell. Or I also learned Snooze. That's very good in certain situations. But the buff spell increases your defense by a lot. So that's the spell we were looking for. We'll take a quick nap, do some shopping, and head on to the next small hamlet. Undersized hamlet, she said. Alright, we have enough, so I'm going to pick up the leather armor for Bray there. And a leather shield for Bray. Because he doesn't get much in the way of equipment, so he's very front-loaded with his equipment draw. He also gets a hat. Just fully outfit the old man. Sell his old pants. And we end up with a perfect amount of gold. Nice. You can buy plain clothes, but you never need to. It's just there. I would have liked a shield for Christo, but we should be fine now. So you take the low amounts of grind as it goes. It's been 15-20 minutes of it. And it got us a lot of what we'll need. Now if we look at everyone's... Come on. Now Boria has passed up Kirill in defense, but Kirill still has more health. So we're gonna keep Boria in the back. Everyone's gonna have their job to do. Depending on what we run into, we may not need to stay at the inn up there, so let's not use our mana just in case. I'm gonna interchangeably say mana, magic. Now, Alena, unlike a lot of others, if we look at her stat sheet, she gets higher natural resistance than a lot of the others. Say it's from her being a fighter and hardening her body. Say a lot of things. I'm going to say it's because, well, she doesn't get a really good armor draw at all in the game. Oh boy. Yeah, we're gonna use our spells here. So I'm gonna use Sap on Foo Dog. It lowers his defense by 18. And that boosts our attack by quite a bit against this guy. Now, unlike in other RPGs, hitting an enemy that's asleep does not give a chance of waking it up. They are asleep for a certain amount of turns. They have a chance of waking up every turn. Circle the camera around and check behind this gravestone. Find a Seed of Life. I'm going to give that Seed of Life to Boria, because as a wizard, he's always going to be behind on his health. Yet. People in the love separating. I will rest up. 9 gold is worth it after running into that Foo Dog. Hey, we find another seed of agility. We'll give that to Kirill. Hey, we got 2 points out of it that time. So he's gonna get every seed, and we'll see how he keeps up. But I'm a big fan. Now you could give it to Borea so he can get his crowd control out faster. I like to plan around it being more defensive. Toss the antidote herb in the bag. And hey, a leather hat. Now, we already have leather hats. I could have held off on buying one for Borea. I was just on a shopping spree. So, well, that leather hat is money. Yeah, we can defeat it. And when we're ready, we go talk to the priest. From Village Chief. So the shopkeep, he's very depressed. Hey, down the hill, down this well, we find mini medal number 1. Now, this is not here in the NES version. If you look under attributes under the wagon, it'll tell you how many mini medals you've collected. We're not going to find more for a long time. That's why I said you can't buy things here. The shopkeep, he's not feeling it right now. Now, even with the grinding and the gear, this could still be really hard, and I may die. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Because you could get here at like level 2, 3. In the NES version, he says, "Please do not litter the litter." They managed to sneak puns even into that version of the game. Now, that spot that we're standing on, in the NES version later, if you were to search it, you'd find a Seed of Life. We won't be able to do that here. Because we're going to die. To Master Kung and the 2 Foo Dogs. Holy cow. Okay, so we want to take off the ads first. We'll focus on a Foo Dog, have Hero start to immediately start buffing, and he's never going to stop. And have Borea start sapping the enemies. The faster Alena can kill them by himself, the better. He needs to keep buffing, so Borea's going to stop to heal Kirill. And Kirill dies, so we lose. They ganged up on him, and there's nothing I can do about that. Master Kung is vulnerable to sleep, so here is our Hail Mary. That the buff she has on was last long enough. Awesome. Now, sleep won't always work on him. But my misfortune from before is... Right, he already has his MP gone. Alright, so we pulled it off. Sleep won't always work on him, but I just got very lucky, and then he stayed asleep. Hero won't relish in the experience, but that's fine. Yeah, doing that earlier, any earlier, If I didn't get buff on Alena, that may have been impossible, barring multiple critical hits. But we get a free revive. It's helpful. Everyone is much happy. Yep, and our reward, not our surprise, our reward is the item shop opens. The bigger one is that we get to leave through to the next part of town. Here you can buy leather armor. Really wanted to. Hunter's bow, which I'm not going to get either. Do want to restock Boria's herbs. Perhaps getting that leather shield for Kiro would have helped with. If I didn't buy that leather herb, now you can't save with that priest, even after the fact. So for defeating the enemy, he dropped the Seed of Life. I'm gonna continue. He's currently ahead just for the sole fact that he's higher in level. Alright, north and east to Frenor. Gonna head there next. We have some new enemies. Bullfinches and Fungal. Fungal, if they hit you, they can poison you. And bullfinches are very powerful, but sometimes they'll start off asleep. They can even, yes, I was going to say that too. They can even turn over in their sleep and hurt you. Pretty good. Alena's going nuts this battle. Oops. Didn't mean to have Boria attack, but it's fine. Now, sadly, Kirill doesn't learn Squelch yet. Squelch is the antidote spell. So I still need to carry antidote herbs on me. Oh, hey. Nice. That's not necessary. Wow, that news travels really fast. Wait, what? Huh. Hey, here we get a free antidote herb. Awesome. There are 3 of us, it'd be good to carry a few of them on us. And here... nothing. I don't know where your dog is. Found a cat. Now, you see that glowy bit there? You can't get that in the NES version for a long time. Now, one thing you can do here, I think... what I want to do is I want to save the game here. I want to I want to say no. This is what you get when you say no, you don't want to continue. And I'm going to reset. In this version, when you restart from here, he starts up there, allowing you to hop in here. That's not the case in the NES version, but I can get the Seed of Life a little earlier. A little more health for Borea. Ah, 6 points. I think that's the most you can get from that. The weapon shop's closed because of the princess visiting, but we can come here. And there's a bunch of things you could buy here. We can't afford any of it. But I do want to get a piece of hardwood headgear, a wooden hat for Carol. And I want to sell my old leather hat. The feather hat we find for Alena is really good for a long time. Can she wear the... No, she can't even wear it. And that boosts his defense to getting more reasonable. Eventually, he'll stop wearing his traveling clothes. She is no special thing. Oh. Let's go visit us. 2 people there beck and call? Like Kirill and Borea? In the NES version, it's Bray and Christo. Oh, boy, what's going on here? The priest on the floor and an old man? They kidnapped the not princess. And a pair of pants. Let's go after him. Now, if you leave and come back, everyone's a little sad about it. Now, what you have to do to progress the plot, for whatever reason, not talk to everyone, it's talk to this guy about his dog. The Amulet of Transmutation to the cemetery at night. Now, he won't tell anybody else, so we have to go get it. I don't know who tells you where it is, but it's in a cave to the south. Here we have a new enemy, Carnivine. Carnivine, they're a pretty vanilla enemy, I believe. They are susceptible to sleep. Now, there's nothing saying you have to do this right away. This is necessary to beat the chapter. One thing you could do... We'll just go exploring a little bit. There's the cave we need to head into. You could ignore it and just keep going for now. And come into some Crested Vipers. The Crested Viper they can cast defense, which cuts off some of your defense from all party members. They're tough, though. Especially if they were to reduce some of our defense. We could be in trouble. They are very vulnerable to sleep, though. Should have opened with it. All the reason why the game doesn't expect you to go past the cave at this point. But hey, some more levels. That'll help Kirill catch up a bit, and he's learned Dazzle, which is like the blind spell. It blinds a group of enemies. Alright, and we made it. So out here, the only other place you can really go is the Desert Bazaar. What a Nyath. Let's sell that pair of pants we found. Now let's sell that holy water. We're not going to use that, so may as well sell it. Get a couple bucks. Here, they sell pretty good stuff. You can paralyze an enemy. Just upgraded lances. The Holy Lance doesn't actually have an element or anything special to it. It's just a lance. So if you were going to get a weapon for Kirill, for Boria, Poison Moth Knife would be pretty decent. At the armor shop, we can get the next upgrade up for armor for Alena from the Silk Robe. And I'm going to do that. Now, I don't think anyone else can wear the Silk Robe. No. I thought maybe Boria? Nah. That's going to make her quite a bit more durable. And Boria can wear this. He can use a scale shield, so that'll be the next thing I want. It's 5 gold away. So let's go punch a single enemy. Hope it's something we can handle. Because the enemies out here are no joke. Like this guy. Single armored scorpion, which, as you'd imagine, is he has a lot of armor, so let's go ahead and strip that off. Look at that. Through his sap, he still managed to hit, or his dazzle, he still managed to hit her real hard. He has some resistance to sap. He has a lot of resistance to sap, apparently. Let's just go ahead and use crack then. Make me look bad, will ya? Armor shop. And I want to give that scale shield to Boria and hand down his leather shield to Christo. Christo is Kirill. They've been traveling the world. Well, let's take a look. Smash open the pots you get. Great. Reach my hand right in there, and this is what I come out. Now we also find a Seed of Strength. I want to give that Seed of Strength to Alena. All she'll be doing is hitting, so may as well. And where was it? There it is. Yeah, let's just throw that on the ground. There's no use for that. It's just a joke item. There is a teleport to these. We can't do anything there, so we'll go there later. Another Seed of Agility. Awesome. We'll give that to Kirill. And that's the tourney of the title of the chapter here. Yeah, I heard. Over here's an item shop. Enemies don't really use this. I don't think I've ever used one of these ever. But it's there. Alright, so we're going to rest up at the inn and then walk back to the Frenor, the name of that town up northeast. Gonna get us enough number that we should be able to handle the cave. I'm sure the game expects us to have more than a club and a sword at this point. But that's also added to our zoom list. We can use the Chimera Wing to come back there quickly. Awesome. Snooze is an easy way to handle these guys. MP used to crowd control and group enemies, MP we're not using on Kirill to heal the damage they're doing to us. Snooze is a really good spell. Alright, and Borio learned the new spell, Evac. Evac teleports you or warps you out of a dungeon. Downside to that is that it costs 4. So make sure you have enough MP if you're playing to use it. Focus on the Carnivines and put the Funguls to sleep. Nuts. Hitting an enemy does give a chance to wake them up, but it's not guaranteed like in other games. Now, I don't want to use one of my antidote herbs because I'm cheap. Let's just walk. You don't take damage in town while poisoned. We'll talk to this guy. The other things they can do, divination tells you how many more experience points you need to the next level. Resurrection if you're dead. Benediction if you have a curse. We'll go over curses when it's more important. Or purification or detoxicate in the NES version. To remove it for 5 gold. When it's 10 for antidote herb. That's 8 gold. It's a little bit cheaper. It's not that big a deal. And one thing I did want to do... They're all very sad about having lost the princess. Right from therein... Let's go talk to the imposters while we're here. And who are we? We have some medical herbs, we have some antidote herbs. Let's go. If we get poisoned here, then I'll buy a couple more antidote herbs. Yeah, it wasn't worth you even swinging with Kirill there, or with Boria there, because he just woke the enemy up. But we got him all the same. Here we get another Chimera Wing. Awesome. That'll be useful for getting us to the bazaar when we have enough money to buy anything. Oh crap. This is what we're going to use the mighty snooze spell for. Alright, so we missed 1 out of 6. That's pretty good. Now, you don't get to choose who you hit in a group of enemies when you swing at them. You'd like to think that the AI would focus the one that's awake. Sadly, that's not the case. But we got them all the same. This could be very nightmarish if you didn't believe in crowd control. Which, if you're coming from a game that doesn't care about crowd control, like most Final Fantasies, then you wouldn't think to use it or think it was worth it. People will say using all the seeds agility on your wizards is better so I can get snooze out faster. I still want to go more defensively. And a new enemy, Thorny Devil and Bedbug. Bedbug can cast Sleep on your party. That's why I gave him the big hit. Thorny Devil, I believe, can shoot a small fireball and do small amounts of damage to your entire party. Painful. Here we find some more cash. Awesome. 2 bedbugs. If it just takes 2 hits to take one out, then... I thought Borea's Crack could one-shot them. I was wrong. But they're too stunned to move. That means we're going to get 3 hits in. Let's go. Unfortunate that 3 swings wasn't enough to off him. Now, Cuss News is a higher chance of getting sleep on a single target. Alright, you're all on your own here, Kira. Or Borea. We got them all the same. The left is a dead end. Can't rotate the camera in dungeons. That would be too powerful. Here, a new enemy, Vampire Bat. They can sometimes start off confused. Means they're going to attack their own party, which is fortunate. Now, Vampire Bats, as they sleep most of the time, they are not vulnerable to snooze. We can use other things on them, but rather have him sit back and watch. Especially since enough of them are attacking themselves. Yeah, there's a lot of funny text that goes on when an enemy fails to do a turn. Has a panic attack, doesn't know what to do, is paralyzed. Here we'll find some, I believe, magic water. Yes. Magic water restores your MP. I'll put it in the bag because I don't know who would need it. Now, if anyone's going to need it, it'd be Carol, so you hold on to it just in case. I don't think we'll need to use it, but it's there. And we've seen these guys before. Linksters. Alright, they're now as useful as Borea without magic. Hey! You got a stick kill. Took enough damage there. Go have Kirill do a hand out a round. And here we'll find the Armlet of Transmutation. Alright, now we could use evac to get out of here, but we need the money. So let's just walk out. We don't have enough health that we don't particularly care if we get hit by crack. And here we found a Crest Survivor before. They're pretty tough, but nothing we can't handle at this point. What I want to do is save up 1,200 gold for that Holy Lance for... Hey, pretty lucky. For Kirill. Be a really good upgrade for from his copper sword. Sadly, Alena can't use the copper sword. But we'll get a new weapon for her soon enough. Now we do have to come to the graveyard at night, is what the note said. We have to survive out here until nightfall. Getting pretty lucky with not getting poisoned. Because I want it to be nightfall faster, I'm going to walk around the plains just to reduce the counter rate. Hey, is a new enemy, Fire Spirit. Fire Spirit, if you swing a physical attack at them, there is a chance that they will split in two. They'll cast Frizz, and they're vulnerable to crack. As you'd expect. They're pretty tough. They don't have a lot of health. If your physical attack doesn't kill them in one hit, there's a good chance, I think it's just a coin flip, of whether or not they split into two. Oh, we have the money for the lance. The next thing I'd want to buy is... I believe I want to buy some armor for... Not Alena, for Kirill. Yes? Waiting for nightfall. Time doesn't pass when you're in a dungeon. Split between wanting to use Snooze on the Bullfinches and Crack on the Fire Spirit. Now, we have seen before that we did 12 damage before to these enemies and it did not kill them. All the enemies in Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest games, they have a range of health. I don't know why they did that, but it can go plus or minus, I think like 10% or something like that. There can be quite some variance in the amount of health that an enemy has. Sunset, we're almost there. We can drop off the Amulet of Transmutation. In the NES version, that is referred to as just the Golden Bracelet. And that makes a whole lot more sense that some random thugs just want just a golden bracelet. Unless you were to look into it as them understanding what it's for, and they've been hired by someone we haven't met yet. Ah, he's the one who tells you about it. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, you can have it. We don't need it. Yeah, because we're the princess. She even had a fake Christo and a fake Borea. And for that, we get the Thief's Key. Thief's Key can open blue doors. So next time nighttime comes, we want to swing by Zelenagrad and open that blue door, because I'm really curious why that guy locked himself in. Now for doing this, did we get an actual heal? Yes. It opens up the item shop. Oh, the weapon shop. And you can buy a lot of the same things you see down at the bazaar, but it's really just worth going to the bazaar first. You just have to do that part, though, with your club and copper sword. Just because you are a bad person doesn't mean you are a bad person. So let's go ahead and walk back to Zelenagrad. We want it to be nighttime. And we'll use our Ring of the Wyvern to bring us back to the bazaar afterwards. Now the Thief's Key does not, we don't actively use it, we just toss it in the bag. And any doors that it opens will now just be opened. We're not worried about this dog now. Yeah! Get your revenge there. Oh hey, free Chimera Ring. So this is the spot I was talking about in the NES version. You can examine here to get a free Seed of Life. I believe this is the only... one of the only two towns in the game that are direction sensitive. I can think of one other. And we don't have an AoE attack yet, so... we'll have to chop them to pieces the way we did before. And if your strength is strength or level or something sufficiently high enough, enemies will dip out. Now this would be where the holy water could be useful. That would keep the enemies away while I'm walking around, but then we wouldn't be getting any number. These battles take 30 seconds. Oh, and if we were to go back to see the king, he'd be like, ah, I guess I can't keep you locked up anymore. Enjoy your adventure, just be safe. We won't have to wait for nighttime much more in this game. The grind and the waiting, it's all very front-loaded. And there's nightfall already. It's not a super sudden drop. There are quite a few takes of the sun going down, so that's nice. I believe it does the same thing for the sun coming up. I don't usually see that. Keeps happening. By a hair. Now now we can open these blue doors. Huh. No reason at all. Interesting. Alright, so now we're gonna warp to the bazaar. Now it's still nighttime. I didn't get a chance to visit here at night, so this is what we're doing here as well. He is catastrophic situation. Now don't progress with the plot yet, because you need to do this. Are you still awake? Ah, he's just watching the stars through his tent. I do want to buy another Chimera Wing. We do have to go back to the castle. After turning in the golden bracelet of transmutation of the Holy Lance for Kirill. Huge damage increase. Sell the leftover sword. The next thing we want to buy is the bronze armor for Kirill. So we have one Chimera Wing to get there. We want one more to get back. Because we're not going to walk around this time. Back to Zamovska. Something's wrong with our dad. This only triggers once you talk to that guard, once you do the golden bracelet. Now note, even though we have the Thief's Key, we can't open the red doors. Vocal cords have ceased in their function. He lives in a room close by the back garden from the castle. Remember that blue door? Well, not this blue door, but we'll check it out anyway. Get some free gold from his bedroom. Those are cabinets I was Wardrobes I was opening. Few bucks there, I'll just cross that off the list. If you remember down here, I told you to remember it. The game will not progress until you talk to this guy. Get a free Chimera Wink. We'll need that later. Seed of Magic. I like to give that to the healer as well. As you see, Borea is outdoing Kirill in MP. Kirill could use the help. More heals, the better, I think. Joseph Starling. He used to not be able to sing. Well, let's go talk to Joseph Starling. We've heard much talk of him. Let's hear how he got his voice working again. Now here, it's a red door. We can't go in here. I wonder. Does he say anything about walking into his room during the day? Is that why it's locked? No? Really confusing why they put that there. Alright, that's just the weapon shop. We want to head in here to head upstairs. I don't have every part of this game memorized. Hey, tell me about the time you lost your voice. Birdsong Nectar. Nectar from the item shop at the bazaar. So off we go. It's not that big an upgrade for him. I'm just going to get him a chainmail. Yeah, just few numbers is not worth it. Oh, we could sell the Traveler's Cloak. Because that's worse than the leather armor that Borea's wearing. Over here at the item shop. Now, if you hadn't talked to him at night, he would have interrupted you here walking by to tell you to go see the king. Tower out west. With monsters out there. I'm just going to pick up a couple more antidote herbs. And a bunch of... I'm going to get a full complement of medicinal herbs. We're topped off. Yeah, pretty much. Now you couldn't have had here earlier before the bracelet because there's a locked door here. And a bunch of new enemies. Worms, they're just very tough. Everyone here is just very tough. I believe the Picciones here. They can cast speed up. So then they'll go faster. Or they can cast Dazzle, but they don't have FMP. They get one of their cousins. They have some resistances to my spells, but totally worth it. They're pretty tough, even with my new upgrades. And there's a lot of them. Kiril's doing double damage than he was before. Okay, after that one, we want to head back, use the inn. It's one of the toughest encounters out here, and we happen to get it a step before the tower. The enemies in the tower are no pushover. The game definitely expects you to be at level like 9 or 10 heading out there. With better equipment than I've... Definitely better than an Oaken Club for Alena. Head along the grasslands. There we go. Now, to help you out with the grind, I guess I didn't have to head back. There's an inn down here for reasons... whatever. There's an inn. And here there's a locked door. Now, if you had come through here as soon as you got the key without doing the whole Birdsong Nectar quest, like side quest talking to the king and Joseph Stalin, or the guy in the backyard, then Joseph Stalin, then the item shop, then the Birdsong Nectar won't spawn here in the tower. Here we'll get some cash. Very needed. We'll need that very soon. Give Alena another seat of strength. Another 2. Awesome. That's the only thing she can do, so... Now, this tower, not technically a dungeon, it's a tower, so you can manipulate the camera. A razor blade. He's tough. He can summon friends, I think, and cast Sizzle. Like the fireball spell. It'll use the basic fire attack on fire 1 on all enemies. That's what we'll call him. For whatever reason, these guys, we don't have resistances to these spells, but for whatever reason, it doesn't work very often for them. Maybe they have a very low luck stat. So we'll just use Snooze, put him to sleep, and wail on him. With the Holy Lance, Kiril and Alena will be able to tear through these guys, despite her wearing using only an Oaken Club. Now you have to rotate the camera at this point because there's a secret passage that you can find otherwise. We'll definitely need that Wing of the Wyvern, actually. Wing of Wyvern is what's called in the NES version. I'm gonna switch back and forth between what I say out of habit versus what I'm reading on the screen. Fortunately, putting enemies to sleep is a pretty good tactic for most of the fight. Most of the fights in here. Alright, Kiril's learned Squelch. That is Antidote. It will cure the poison spell. And Borea's learned Bounce, which is Reflect for yourself. Can be really good. I'm actually going to use medical herbs instead, so Borea can save his spells for when it's necessary. Now be careful here. You don't want to fall down the hole. They can do more than just attack, I swear. They haven't, but they can. Yeah, this area is a lot harder if you don't attempt to use any status ailments, any crowd control. And the encounter rate's a lot higher in the NES version. Now they won't, what I mean by spawn is these guys won't be here. Oopsie daisy. Won't be around. Yeah, oopsie daisy. They won't be around. If you don't do that chain of talking to people. Alright, we have the birdsong nectar. Let's return that to Dad. See if that cures his ailment. Now this time you do have to select it and use it. Sometimes you have to use an item, sometimes it just looks for it in the inventory. He has weighty gratitude. So it was his reasoning, or his orders, that stopped us from going through the teleportal that they talked about at the bazaar. But now we can get through. It'll allow us to travel the world, find out what's going on. We're doing pretty good. Let's just head right for the teleportal. Yeah, we have a good amount of money. Yeah, the messenger got here faster than I did. That's some impressive athleticism on that guy's part. Somewhere around here. I wonder where that could be. Hey, how's it going? Endor, huh? Yeah, start up your Star Wars references on your own. Didn't watch a lot of Star Wars, gotta be honest with you. Now if I head all the way around, there'll be nothing. Somewhere else I'm thinking of. But you can walk through there. And here, holy cow, a bunch of new enemies that are very powerful. So Restless Armor, they're very tough. They can summon heal slimes to help them. Pterodon can cast fire. I believe just fire 1 on all of us. Maybe fire 2. They're very strong. Skeletal Swordsmen, they're tough. They swing. They hurt. I want to dazzle the swordsman and put the armor to sleep. Ow. Oh, fire 1. Alright, let's just get out of here. Run! Yeah. Those guys are really tough. Well, if you need to grind, that area is a really good place for it. Tournaments going on. Well, first we have, just drag our buddy's corpse. This is where the church is in Endor. You pay a certain price depending on the level of your character. He's at level 9, so I paid 90 gold. The critical hit that they can use was very unfortunate. Antidote herb, which we no longer need, actually. We'll toss that in the bag. We'll save MP for Squelch. And here's a shop that no one's manning. Yeah, you're right. Free silk robe. Remember this guy for later. Let's sell that silk robe. That's a big sign. No. Alright, tournament is on the left or the right. Let's check out the weapon shop. Another knife. And an abacus. Can be used as a tool during battle. I don't know what it does during battle. I've never tried. An abacus is an interesting weapon. In the item shop, for whatever reason, you can find a wooden hat. Hey, how's it going? Oh, you got a lot of fancy stuff here. They've been in the money for generations. Well, can we rob you of any of that? Yeah, 40 bucks. She likes the sky. Hopefully she's not staring at the sun. Beginner's Guide to Becoming a Casanova. And we walked past some things while we were dragging our buddy in, so... Here's the armor shop. Get some pretty good things here. You got chainmail, bronze armor, the iron armor, an iron apron, and shield, and an iron shield, which we would get for Kirill. We don't necessarily need it. And here we have a blue door, which we can open right away, but then there's a red door right in our way. So we'll have to come back here. We can open red doors. Jot that down for later. That just leaves the inn. That's 16 bucks is 16 bucks, right? Went and lost. Lost what? Hey, another Seed of Resilience. I'm going to give that to Alena. She doesn't get a really good equipment draw for armor. And hey, downstairs is a casino. You can cash them in for tokens. So we got slot machines. We've got poker. I hardly know her. No, stop, don't. Hit double or nothing. You know, poker's not my favorite game in this. Well, technically you can. That's not true. We'll do that later. No. And here... we have a Monster Coliseum. You bet on the monsters and you can win money. You can win tokens. Now we can't look at what they have to... Can't look at what they can vend without a single token, so just buy one token. So here we have the Magic Water, which restores your MP. We've seen that. Prayer Wing. Prayer Ring is an accessory that increases your defense, but if you use it, it'll recover your MP 2-3 times, and then it'll break and disappear. For a lot of cash, you could get these and sell them for like 2,000 a piece. And that's how you convert tokens to cash. Gold Bracer also increases your defense. It's just a worse version of Prayer Ring because it does the exact same thing. The Spangled Dress, better armor for a lot better armor for Alena. That's 2,500. We're not going to be getting that. That's way too expensive for us. Meteorite Bracer, which is incredible. It doubles your agility. We're going to be getting one of these at some point. Fairly soon. And a Falcon Blade. You attack twice. Really good. Next to nobody can use it. No one in our party can use it. It's 65,000. So we'll keep that in mind for later, and let's show this off. Monster Arena. So it lists out 4 enemies, and I'm betting 1 gold. So my prize will be whatever the times is, depending if the guy I pick wins. Cyclown is pretty much guaranteed to win. So I'll throw down a single token. And there's an enemy we didn't run into on the far right that we could have run into on the far left as well. The far left guy casts Fizzle, which is essentially Stop Spell. It's mute. Guy on the far right can cast Whoosh. That is a Wind Elemental spell. It's the Inferno spell in Dragon Warrior. I have no control here. I'm just sitting here watching. Ah, nuts, we lost. Now, the Bodkin Archer could have very easily won had he cast Buff on himself. He did not. Oh well. If you won, you could then take those winnings and put them on the next match. You can only bet up to 50 tokens on the first one. A almost for sure way of doing that: get the 50 tokens, bet it on a match. If you win, put it on a second match, and then go back and save and do it again. Very long, very slow, kind of tedious. I'm not going to do that in this chapter. I'll do something like that eventually. Sure. The Iron Claw in your right hand, you will win the fight hands down. That doesn't rhyme at all. That's awful. I love it. We could use a rest after what happened outside. If you need to grind, if you need to grind for this section, I would recommend doing it at the bazaar. The enemies out here are just way too strong. Like with Kirill's setup here, 37 defense, he still got chopped to pieces. So he said the Coliseum, the tournament's on either side. Go in the front door first. Visit the king. King Norman. Yeah, a lot of very strong enemies outside. Gotta watch out for Starro. Why would the guard tell us that? Why would we need to come in here at night? Sleeping. Oh, hey. Hey, how's he doing? Watch out for the Manslayer. Chest over there. And down the well is nothing. Did he give himself that nickname, or... was that something bestowed upon him? Can't think where. Alright, whoever wins the tournament. Not that there's anything wrong with women on woman marriage, but it wouldn't do very well for a monarchy. We need an heir. We need a bloodline. So that makes sense why they would call it off if I win. So they want me to win the tournament so that his daughter won't get married off. Another red door here. Alright, so there's treasure in the bedroom. Alright, let's go in the side doors. Walk right past you. Another red door. Alright, let's go. If you're taking part, go to the left. If you're spectating, up to the right. Well, let's take a look first. Can't rotate the camera here. So as you can see down in the arena, it's a one-on-one fight, and Alena needs to win it. Alena is not going to do particularly great with her club. But if we head over here, we can pick up the Iron Claw. Yeah, 73 attack. That's why we didn't get her another piece of equipment the entire game. Well, weapon. Now, if you really want an easy time, the Meteorite Bracer and the Radiant Dress, that would make this very easy. You don't really have those options in the NES version. Those are different prizes. So we're not going to do that. What I'm going to do, because it's a fight to the death, I was going to leave and save, but this was apparently not the way out. Alright, we have Attila the Hunk. We saw him fighting earlier. So all Alena can do is attack or use medical herbs. One-on-one in RPG is... Alright, we got him. One down. No experience, though. I was gonna save and see if I can't get to level 10, but this is where I ended up. Yes. You want to stay more or less topped off. No, I'm good. Quick draw Magor. He's the same as the Hunk, except he attacks faster. If you had the Meteorite Bracer, you would get to go first. And I think I just lost. Yeah. No, it's not to the death. Oh, good to see. So that's what happens if you lose it. Anything down here? No. There's no turning back, he says. So I don't think you can save at this one. No. And the other one in the top right is an inn. So I do want to get... I want to get level 10. Maybe we can get through one fight here to get level 10. Alright, this looks much more reasonable than the last one. Nice amount of experience there. You can try... Alright, there's that enemy we didn't see before. You can try the Coliseum as long as it takes. And I don't think it took away my gold either, so there's no lose state here. Nuts. So yeah, the swordsman can also cast Kasap. Just kill our defense. I don't think they're vulnerable to snooze, but that's the best thing Boria has to try to help. It's... Well. This is why I said we go to the bazaar to do this. And I never saved an indoor, so... Get me a shortcut back to here. And we have enough gold to do that. Did say I was going to save an indoor. See, that was fast traveling back to here. That was the plan. I still have a Chimera Wing to get back. Now I'll have to buy one. Now there's nothing left to buy unless you wanted to collect tokens for later. Not a huge fan of the gambling in this because you can only bet 50 tokens at a time. If I could get a whole ton of tokens that attempt it, if it doesn't work, restart, that's fine. That'd be different, but you can only bet 50 at a time, and that makes it very slow. I have another way of doing it. I mean, that one gave as much XP as the Restless Armor and the Heal Slime. There are hills over by the shrine. Tougher enemies also tend to come out at night, so that'll help. Ah, there are. There are a small amount of hills. Alright, there's level 10. Alright, this should be enough to get through the Coliseum. I thought we'd be here, we were just a few battles off. Not as many encounters in the tower as I was expecting. Oh hey, if you come here at night, see Ragnar. Ragnar's out traveling. He's only here at night. So there's a little cameo of him. Alright, just armors. We should be able to handle this. Alright. Yeah, if you didn't get that feather cap, the best she could wear is a leather hat. Which is very unfortunate. Alright, with that extra level, I'm going to take it more seriously when I plan to head in there. Instead of accidentally wandering into... And this side we head in the right side. And over here is the same red door as on the other side. Loaded out on medical herbs, right? Yeah. Yes, be cheering for me from there. Fight me, Attila. So our agility is about the same. The next one is considerably faster. No, we're good. We wouldn't get much out of that medical herb, so I'll wait until this fight. After this next attack. Oh, he's defending. When he defends, it's really good, because that means he's not attacking. He's taking free damage. And this should kill him. Good. And he drops a medical herb. In the NES version, they all drop herbs to help make up for that. No, we're good. Now, Prima Donna, she is a wizard. She's going to cast spells. We could just sit here and defend until she runs out of MP. You can't keep it up particularly long. Or we just tear through her. Unless she does that. Unfortunate, that was a... So she's out of MP already. But we got our crit in when she was defending. No, we're good. Samson Knight. Yeah, this guy is a lot harder. He hits real hard. Fortunately, he is slow. And I believe he also has a medical herb. He's as relentless as we are. Yeah. He's really tough. Woo! And we got him. Yeah, having the double defense from the Radiant Dress would make this a joke. But that would require doing quite a bit of gambling. So I just wanted to do that to show you it only counts what's in your inventory. You can't use anything in your bag for this part. The Abominable Showman. His gimmick? There's one of him. Randomly dispersed in here is one. If you get it right, you hit him. Get it wrong, he hits you. Alright, he mustered his strength, so I'm going to defend. Alright, he did it again. You only need to hit him like 2 or 3 times, but pretty much an enemy that's faster than you that has 75% evasion. Hey, we hit him once. Ow. That was with defending. Nuts. Well, we had that. It was just the unfortunate... the misfortune of... the misfortune of the showman. That is how poorly it can go. I've gotten lucky with the critical hit and killed him in one go. You can also critical hit the doppelgangers. Sadly, the first one does not drop an herb. Alright, quick draw McGraw. McGower. Get more out of it if I wait to use that second one till here. Oh. That was unfortunate. That would have been it. Alright, for Vivian, we are going to defend. I think her name is Vivian in the NES. That's why I said that. Prima Donna. Both sit here, defend. Till she's out of MP. There's like 15 MP or something like that. There we go. Now should we just claw this girl to pieces? Get in there and scratch them up. Cat fight. He's not even attempting to swing her stick. Then the actual tough boy. I don't think Samson Knight can get a critical hit. If he can, that'd be horribly unfair. Although we can, we just haven't. We could use one here. He seems more aggressive this time. Huh. Alright, well, I guess we'll need a level 11. Why do you think that one went worse than before? Well, I'm not cutting it out. Because I made the other one look so much easier than before. I'll let you see just how hard this is. Keep the playthrough honest. And Borea learns Zoom. That's basically the Chimera Wing. For a cost, we can now fly anywhere. Oh boy. Should have healed. Still not fast enough to get that run. Imperial's not fast enough to go before the swordsman. Hey, a metal slime. Metal slime, he's gonna run away. But there's a chance that he won't, and if he doesn't and we can kill him, then that'll be a lot of experience for us. Hey, a chance. His defense is maxed out, so you just have a 50% chance when you hit him, hey, of getting a 1 damage on him. Yeah, look at that experience. Everyone gets a guaranteed level. They're immune to everything. Very few ways to hurt a metal slime outside of get lucky with a physical hit or hope for a critical hit. A few scorpion. They do have slight resistance to crack, but it's worth it since they have a higher resistance to sap. So that big battle gave us less than 200. That one slime, 1,300. Nuts. Hoping Boria would go first. Boria going absolutely last. Old man. Had him cast Bounce. Try to stop the incoming spells of Whoosh and Kasap, but... Hey, they are vulnerable to sleep. Next time we'd lead with that. Figure since we're out here anyway, may as well go for level 12. We got that first level a lot faster than I expected. Single Cyclone. Jump him! Oh boy. Alright, hopefully he can get some snooze off before we get wrecked. Alright, we got 2 of them. Then Alena after the heal slime. Nuts. Go to sleep. There we go. Yeah, with taking out all of his defense, even Boria could do a couple damage. There's a critical hit we've been looking for. And level 12. We'll rest up at the inn. Endor at night is nothing special compared to day. Restock on medical herbs. We have some money. Let's throw it into tokens, sure. Oh, that'd be 110. This is how I'm gonna get my tokens. Throwing my money into it. I know what you're thinking, man, that's gonna take a lot of money. It's gonna take so much grinding. You'll be incredibly overpowered. No, we actually won't be. I'm also not going to get... The Falcon Blade would be way too powerful. We're not getting that. Will help myself to a Meteorite Bracer, though. And prayer rings for the defense for everyone. Those 2 levels, they did a lot for our survivability. Look at that. 2 levels difference. This is where the game expected you to be. I tried to push it with 9. Almost could have done it with 10. Sure. Alright, quick draw. Last time we dueled. This time I claw off your face. Yes, it can sometimes be faster than him now. I think the strategy here is still just to defend. This way I only have to use the 1. Because mid-heal heals like 70, so if I got her close to dead and then she used it, well... I'd be SOL. Oh, this time she's trying to finish me off. Woo! That damage. That was while defending, so that would have done over 90 damage. If she wasn't cowering in the corner, asking us to please stop. I am going to use the second one now. This battle should go a lot different. This battle went a lot different. And the Abominable Showman, this time with almost a full complement of medical herbs. To get through my poor luck. Not that one. It will eventually be A. There's no visual cue, it's completely random. They even had this kind of like animation on the NES. Pretty cool. Well, we have enough medical herbs. Just use one. There we go. Nuts. I don't know if I don't think the fireball would be affected by muster strength. Oh, come on. I'm just gonna close my eyes when I select. This way I'll be just as surprised when I swing. Oh well. Don't get cocky, Fox. Oh, hey, we hit him. Would you call this a good boss fight? It's an interesting gimmick. Just foiled me 2 levels ago. And there we go. You only need to hit him like 2, maybe 3 times if you're at a lower level. Now we face Sorrow, the Manslayer. Yeah, let's top off fully. Use more. Yeah, sure. Good health already. Alright. Face off against Sorrow. You have to say his full title every time. Oh, I guess he saw me fighting and decided he didn't want a piece of this. And what if you just went to the bathroom? That was quick. Just, alright, you're not there? Screw it, you're done. Leave. Alright. So, we don't get married, then what do we win? Get nothing. Yeah, it's just that's the ins and outs of it. You get nothing for it. What's going on? Sappy music, yay! Just to show up, if you go to use Zoom, which costs 4, you try to do it here. Oh, in the NES version, you can't warp out of Endor. Where did everyone go? End of chapter 2. Happy music. Yeah. Yeah, not everyone's a win. Can't win them all.